So for your fourth resource, I have this resource called Storyline Online, and this is one of my favorite resources that you're going to be getting today. It has a lot of different words, some newer, some older, not words, books, sorry. It has some newer books, some older, some newer, of all different grade levels, all different interests. There's some older books like Brave Irene, and then there's some newer books like Rosie Revere, I believe Engineer is on here. But there's so many books, and each book, there are some Spanish books, but each book has a suggested grade level. But remember, that is just a suggestion, it is not a requirement. I believe that your child should read any book that they are interested in, as that is, the goal here, right? Is to keep them interested in reading. What's really cool about this website is that the books are read by some celebrities. So this is Amanda Bynes, Tia and Tamara Mowry, Rashida Jones. So a lot of different celebrities here, and there's a lot of different levels of books and lengths of books. So some books are longer, like 10 to 15 minutes, and some books are shorter, like 5 to 10 minutes. So if you only have 5 minutes, you can just click a quick book, read it. The book and the words are projected along with the voice of the actor who's reading, or the celebrity who's reading. So it's not just your child sitting and listening, they actually get to see the book and read along with this person. Now, my favorite thing about this website is that when you click on a book, there is this, it's called activity guides down here, and it says for teachers, but I'm going to show you how you would use it. Okay, so we're just going to use this book, Somebody Loves You, Mr. Hatch. And this is read by Hector Elizondo. So first is a synopsis. So this is for you to do a quick read about what this book's about to make sure that you find it appropriate for your child. Then it goes into themes. Now, as your child gets older, for example, in 5th grade, when they take the STAR test, they are going to have to identify themes in a story. So this is a good way to get that started. And you don't have to come up with that on your own. You can ask your child what they think themes are or what the theme is. And any of these would cover what they were thinking, or if they're not there, you can help them get to that point of being able to identify themes, like what is the author trying to teach us? What are you learning? Themes are not something that are expressly just like said in the book. You have to pull out that information based on the context of the book. But that being said, when you come down here, you're going to see this before viewing area. So it's going to talk about the standards and the objective. That's not really as important to you, but these steps are. I can kind of highlight them here. So just questions to get your child ready to read. Did you ever think that you didn't have any friends? And how did that make you feel? Then all you need to do for step 2 is to introduce the title and see what they're going to think about it. Remember, the title of this book is Somebody Loves You, Mr. Hatch. So you say, this book is called Somebody Loves You, Mr. Hatch. What do you think the story might be about? Now, this is just a prediction, so it doesn't have to be right. It's just to get their brains started by thinking about what the book might be about, what they might learn. And then during the video, you can pause and ask questions. How does he change throughout the story, and why? So just making your child think a little bit deeper as they're reading, so they're not just listening and zoning out, they're actually actively participating in the reading of this book, because you're asking questions. Then they have here for after viewing. So it tells you what you need, but it also gives you the resource. So it says this is going to use a cause and effect graphic organizer. If you scroll down to page 8, it is already right here. You do not have to create anything. You can print it. You don't have to. You do not have to do any of these activities. It's just an extension. So a way to help your child think a little bit more deeply and work a little bit more on this one story rather than just reading and moving on. So there's some questions. That's a little work that they can do here. You can do it with them, or they can do it on their own. Then there's a reading response. So this is just a verbal response. So what caused Mr. Hatch to change during the story? Use details to support. So it's really important to add that extra bit of support while you're asking questions, is like, tell me what happened. How did he change? But then tell me how you know that. Give me examples from the story that show that you know that happened. Then if you scroll down, you get to a writing activity. So this is a poem, and it tells you how to write the poem, and then you can make a poem with your child. It's just a fun little writing activity. Then they go into some other curriculum activities. So this is about science and technology, social studies, art and math. So just extra extension things that if you want to do with your child, you can, but again, these are not necessary. The main part of this resource is the different books and the interest levels of these books.